All right, what's going on, everyone on YouTube? I have Keegan here, who is one of the clients in First Class Setter. Luckily, Keegan has actually done fairly well for himself with appointment setting, and so yeah, I figured I'd kind of bring him on here and have you, Keegan, walk everything kind of, what your journey looked like. What did you go through? Where was some, some hardships that you had to kind of jump over, some hurdles, whatever, and where you are now. So yeah, we can go ahead and just go ahead and introduce yourself, let the people know who you are, where you're from, etc.
All right, so my name's Keegan. I'm from Virginia. I go to school right now. I'm in college. I'm in my third year. And I think I originally wanted to get into, like many others, I wanted to get into like high ticket sales, all that online. And I didn't really like think without any experience it was really possible. So I started hearing more and more about like appointment setting and how like the barrier to entry is like a lot lower. Like you don't always need experience to get on an offer. And so I had originally started like cold DMing people like out of my mind, like 50 people a day trying to get on like an interview or an offer. And I was able to get connected with a couple people, and I did have one interview, but the guy said, he had like a couple other interviews he was having with like experienced setters. So obviously I didn't get it. But I eventually found I believe your YouTube page, Sergio, and from there I kind of started messaging you, and we had like some conversation back and forth, and I think it was actually before you had publicly launched First Class Setter,
Mhm.
but that is when you started talking to me about your program and how you could get me on an offer, and that's when I got into First Class Setter.
Nice, cool. So I'm sure a lot of people can resonate with a lot of stuff that you said right there. Just based on like where you started, right? Ultimately, probably like everybody else, you started as like a novice, you can call it, and kind of unaware of like how to actually get into it. Um, I'm assuming going into, the journey of outreaching to a lot of people, really all you knew about appointment setting was mainly, through what you saw on YouTube, correct?
Yeah, there's definitely a big gap between like the information that I found that was actually available and like what I've been able to learn like through the actual role I'm in now.
Yeah. Yeah. Experience definitely helps, more than anything else, I think, in my opinion, right? You can get all the information you want, but if you're not like actually doing the thing, it's a little tough to do so. So yeah, let's go ahead and talk about like once we actually got you onboarded, really what was that like? Me and you kind of touched base in terms of making sure that like the actual appointment setting sword and the skill in itself was as sharp as possible. And remind me on how long it took because we actually did end up placing you in an offer. How long did that take for you?
Mhm. It took exactly 10 days after
Cool.
joining.
I'm glad you have that like saved, and I should too, honestly. But I was just kind of yeah, I didn't keep track of that. But
Well, it was very
um,
quick and it was like perfect time because I was like, I want to get on offer like right when 2024 starts so I can like, get started with everything.
and how was that like transitional period for you? So obviously we kind of provided you with like an opportunity where you had opportunity to actually make money. So that's kind of a lot of the things that I like to stress for the clients and the students that are a part of First Class Header is like we won't put you in a role if I don't think you can make money there, right? And a lot of factors go into play there, but how smooth was that for you?
Yeah, absolutely. Like I was definitely able to see like everything that I learned in the course like right off the bat. I was definitely able to make an actual impact my first week and actually get some commission start coming in. So that was really good.
Gotcha. Cool. So it's pretty easy, I guess, safe to say, right? Like it wasn't really any like, a lot of people are, I know there's a lot of people watching out there that are honestly like, they're looking forward to getting on a roll, but a lot of them are pretty like scared and nervous to actually get started. But how, yeah, you would kind of confirm like it's pretty simple to get going, just knowing the stuff that we
Yeah, I
teach.
would say the first like 2 days is like the worst it will ever be, and then it was like you'll get into the motion. Like after like the first week, I think I was like booking in appointments like while I was out with friends like at a restaurant. Like that's how like it ends up turning. Not always.
Yeah.
obviously depending on like what the specific offer is and like how you need to like be with it. Right now mine is pretty relaxed, so I can be pretty much wherever, and still like booking good prospects. So yeah.
Yeah. That's awesome, dude. I think that is the biggest game changer. At least I remember it for me. I think I did something similar and I kind of came to the actual realization that like holy shit, I actually have the time freedom that I was looking for. And I think I was like off-roading or something with my family. So it's like middle of nowhere, booking in a call, which is freaking awesome. And I'm glad like you're kind of having that realization too, because um, if you position yourself as a really, really good appointment setter, pair it up with a very good opportunity, like you can get away with stuff like that. And it's not to say that, you know, you are, how do I say this? Like you're taking advantage. Like, no, it's just the offer is so
Yeah.
good and you're in such a good position. You know exactly what to look out for to still perform at a high level and still get paid while you're out with friends or you're off-roading, right? So pretty safe to
Mhm.
say like that's pretty standard for you. You kind of tapped into the time freedom now, correct?
Yeah, absolutely. Like, obviously I was on winter break when I first joined. Like the first couple of weeks I was on my offer, I was still on winter break, but now I'm back at school and I'm like, I'm in class, like in between classes, in the DMs, getting people booked in. It's pretty nice.
Yeah, and I think the reason that that's a possibility is because of the fact that this once you develop the skill the correct way and you actually know what it is that you have to do, um, then the rest becomes easy because you like inherit the skill so much that it literally becomes second nature. Where it's like you're not even thinking anymore while you're working, but you're still working. You know what I mean? You're just kind of
Right.
doing it in different areas and different times or whatever. So that's awesome, man. And let's kind of reiterate this. So, you know, your offer again had a very high following, very great content, very good product. Literally all the foundations were in place, except for I guess we can talk about like the payout structure. Yours is a little bit unique because of the fact that it's not necessarily a high ticket offer, but it's more of a low ticket, consistent, compounding offer, like a monthly recurring
Yeah.
revenue. So tell me a little bit about that, how you guys manage that.
Yeah, so right now I we did work out a base pay, and I'm making, actually, I don't know if we're going to change it, but right now I'm making 15% commission on the ones I close, and that's also recurring. Um it's definitely helped, that I kind of figured out a way to track everything in a spreadsheet, like just so that I know like what I'm going to be making. Like I do have some experience with Excel in the past, so I know how to like manage like the monthly reoccurring and make sure that I know like what I'm actually going to be making in the next couple months.
Yeah. So honestly, I think it just goes to show like everybody wants to be a high ticket setter, which is cool. Like, you know, you could still be a high ticket setter, make a good amount of money doing that, being in any part of the world. But you can get creative with different types of offers. Like this one is particularly also like a fitness coaching offer, but it's not a high ticket, but you still get paid pretty well, right? So, what did you wrap up at January with like cash collected and just if you want to throw in the MRR or whatever that is?
So the monthly reoccurring, I think in total was a little over 2K. The first month that I actually only took home was like around 1,500,
Mhm.
but yeah, with the reoccurring, it was a little over 2K.
Gotcha. So just to make sure people like understand that, by the way, because I'm sure there's a lot of people who are watching who are not necessarily familiar with like what the reoccurring even means. It means that he will essentially get paid for that month, the next month, and however long that client stays, essentially, correct? If you can correct me if I'm
Yeah.
wrong, but yeah,
Yeah, that's
so
how it works.
so it's like it's not the equivalent of getting paid out in total, right? Like at the moment, right, where he's not making like 800 bucks, right, with a 5 minute DM conversation, but instead it's slowly compounding and it's moving on to the next month and the next month and the next month. So it's like, you know, you got some, how do I say this? It's like guaranteed money. It's like it's not even
Yeah.
that whole risk of being an appointment setter and not knowing if you can make commission that month is completely gone because you have reoccurring coming next month, correct?
Hmm. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's absolutely right.
that's awesome, man. Well, dude, like that's kind of one of the biggest reasons why I wanted to get you on here, just so you can kind of talk about what your experience was, how fast it went, what you're set up for now, and really, I want to talk about next where it is that you kind of plan to go to, right? What it is that you have in mind, because correct me if I'm wrong. Now that you've gone past the hardest part in terms of finding a role, landing a role, actually making money, I mean, it doesn't feel like you have a bunch of doors like open in front of you now.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. It feels like I don't really know exactly where I want to go with it, but it feels like I'm moving in the right direction, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, and I think you shared it in the community the other day, but you had landed an interview for a potential second role, correct? And this was like, yeah, for I think you had mentioned it was a real estate offer, correct?
Yeah, something to do with real estate, increasing lead flow and overall like revenue. So that's that
Nice.
sort of thing for realtors.
Dude, but that's the difference, like that I want people to see here is like a lot of people are obsessed with making money today or tomorrow or the next.
Right.
But if you take your foot or if you kind of take your vision off of that particular goal and rather focus on what you can, like what inputs can you put in today, the next day, that'll slowly lead you to the route that you're going to be able to make a bunch of money, right? And like, correct me if I'm wrong, but you being able to do that outreach now is a little bit different rather when you first got started because now you have conviction and being able to do a role, a job, actually get people results and so on and so forth, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I was able to like use the are you looking for an experienced seller or
Right.
setter? I mean, it's like, and the guy got right back to me and said he was interested. So it's
Yeah.
definitely a step up from saying, "Are you looking for a setter? I have zero experience, but I want to learn," that kind of thing.
And I'm sure people who have looked into appointment setting and have wanted to get into it have, are probably watching this video and, they're probably, in agony watching this. But because that's the truth, that's the reality is like you need to be able to get past that first hump because everything else gets easier after that, right? Like the hardest part for any beginner that's watching this, whether you want to start an SMMA or you want to get into sales or appointment setting, is making your first dollar online. It's always the hardest. But once you get past it, it's like, it's 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 not even real, right? You can get past the fact that you're transactioning money with people, and as long as you're providing them a real result and a real value, then the opportunity is endless. So, dude, I mean that's pretty much all I have for you. Like I think you've done amazing. I think you've done amazing very quickly as well. Like you've picked up the skill set. And I think it's pretty safe to say, right? As long as you know the correct things to do within appointment setting, pretty simple job to pick up, would you say?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, I find myself like in the almost like the exact same scenario in the DMs, like having the same exact conversation leading to like an actual sale. It's
Yeah.
pretty nice.
Yeah. And I think you'll come to see like eventually whenever you get to whatever position you're looking to get into, whether that's, remote closer or whatever. I mean, the same goes, right? It's like you just got to keep putting the same inputs that result in certain outputs. And yeah, that's ultimately how you start making money. So, Keegan, I'm really happy you hopped on here, man. I appreciate you a ton. I'm glad I was able to help you as fast as we did as well. And yeah, if there's anything, any last message you have for anybody watching this video who's kind of on the edge or wanting to get into the online space, anything you have for them?
Yeah, I would say literally anybody can do it. Like I did not have any experience in sales or anything like that before joining this course. So, I mean, I feel like it's the best option out there if you're looking to like actually make some money online, even from your phone. Like I think that's absolutely it.
Yeah. Awesome, man. Well, Keegan, I'm super happy to have you on here, man, and appreciate you hopping on here. And yeah, if there's anybody watching out there who is, working a 9 to 5, you're in college, you have savings, you don't know what to even do with it. More than likely, it's going to be skill development, learning a real skill that can get you paid immediately. So yeah, you guys know where to look for the call link. It's going to be in the description. And Keegan, it was really cool chatting with you, man. And we will probably do an updated one once you're a remote closer, once you have your own business going or whatever that is, because the opportunity is endless for you now, man.
Yep. Thank you.
Awesome, brother.